Today we're back to working on Old Smoky. This gem right behind me, Massey 1100. So my plan on today's video is to start with, get these probably 25+ year old fuel filters off of here. If you happen to have watched my Wilt Start video on it, I change out this fuel bowl and that seal in there. Hang on, let me get a flashlight. Now that I got light in there, right between the two filters, you can see that the gasket is spit out, O-ring, square O-ring is spit out, leaking fuel there, and it drains down, loses prime when it's shut off. So I'm going to get them changed out. I'm hoping that it won't lose prime after that, and then hopefully after that it'll start a little bit easier again like it always used to. Shot of ether and usually went. So I'm going to start with that. The other thing I want to check out is I remembered it was having some charging issues. I see that I've got the charging regulator unplugged from way back when I was running it as a kid, and the more I think about it, it seems to me what was going on is it would charge when it was running, but when it shut off, it would drain the battery. So I think what I was doing, if I remember correctly, is when I'd start it and run it, use it, I'd plug it in to charge the batteries. When I shut it off, I unplug that. I'm going to confirm that it charges. Not sure if it is going to matter a whole lot. As clean as that alternator is, I'm sure that doesn't do it any justice. But anyway, I'm sure that's going to end up getting sent in and checked over by starter and alternator shop. After that, the next thing on my list on this tractor is to give it a bath, see what kind of what I can find underneath all of this. After I give it a bath, I want to start it, run it a little bit, and see what other kind of fuel leaks, engine oil leaks, hydraulic oil leaks I can find on here, and maybe put a list together and see what kind of a direction I want to start with on this guy. This isn't going to be a quick project. There's a lot that needs attention on it. But I gotta start somewhere, assess everything, and have some sort of a somewhat semi-educational game plan. One thing I do remember is that there was, I can't find them right now, on the intake manifold, there's one. Get the camera here. See that hole there? Bolt studs. Looks like it must be a bolt. We'll figure that out. But anyway, some of them are missing. There's another one right there. That's missing. That one there is missing. Anyway, when it runs, they must be through holes and it'll dribble oil out the side of the engine up there and get everything down, or make everything a mess all over. So I know some of that's gonna be some attention just to try and keep some of the oil in. Probably ain't gonna run long enough right now in this condition to see if it actually burns oil, if I can keep that in there. But for now, I'm gonna start with these fuel filters. While I've got the fuel system opened up, I am going to also remove this sediment bowl and clean the crap out underneath, or clean the crap out that's in the bottom of it. You can see all kinds of stuff and gunk in there, so I'm going to get that all cleaned out too right away. The other thing I'm hoping to do too is see if I can find some sort of a tire that'll stay hard and round. This tire stays up maybe 12 hours. This is, what is it now, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 4 days. This tire's half flat, so neither one hold air that well. As you can see, it's not a good tire. So I'm gonna find something. Mm-hmm. There you go. Neither one of them filters were none too pretty. Just look at all that yumminess. I'm impressed it ran with that crap in there. Just noticed that now the new fuel bowl is a little bit shorter than the original. Is what it is. Alright, let's get this dirty fuel bowl off of here and see what kind of not so yummies we can find in there. All sorts of fun stuff in there. Son of a... Shit. I hate it when I get fumble fingers. I know to watch better. I know better than that, but I don't know, sometimes something else to buy. I'm gonna try it and see what it's... If I can at least get it power washed today. You guys ever get fumble finger syndrome like that? You know better, but you know to watch for it. You put extra caution on it, and yet you still make the mistake. Well, my setting bowls suck in air, which doesn't surprise me. So I get to go buy something. Alright, fast forward a few days into the future here, and mailman delivered me a new fuel bowl. So let's not fumble finger it and get this installed. It was about that simple. Alright, let's get this fuel system primed up and see what happens. There we go, now I got fuel coming. I think that gasket is getting old and hard and didn't want to seal decent right away. You can see fuel is coming into the fuel filter, so we'll get them filled up. That one ain't supposed to have fuel leak in there. What's going on? Something didn't seat right. So I gotta mess with this fuel filter and see what's going on. Keeps pushing fuel out. Alright, I finally got the fuel filters bled out. I had one that was leaking on there for some reason. It didn't seat decent. I had to loosen it up, reposition it, tighten it up. But now it seems to hold fuel, so we're gonna try it and see what happens. Kind of got cold out over the weekend. We got some of this that white stuff outside on the ground. We don't have the heat on in the shop yet either. We got some machinery we're putting away and gonna be running in and out, so this will definitely be a cold start. Get some air in them tires and try and take her outside. Alright, let's get her outside. Hope it fits in gear. Hey, I even got the hydraulic seat to go off. A little stiff, I gotta lube everything up, but it does go up. Usually the flat spot of a tire is on the bottom side, but this tire in particular has two flat spots in it. Anyway, I'm gonna get some air in it and get it pressure washed. It's a much warmer, nicer day outside today. All that white stuff disappeared. want to do one final walk around before I start cleaning this beast up. That, and I'm gonna grab my seat cushion so that it stays dry. Alright, here we are so far. Not complete, running out of time for today. I seriously underestimated the time it was going to take to wash this up. Everything is so dried on, glued on. It just takes a lot of time, a lot of close washing just to get all of that stuff to peel off. So I'm going to have to finish this on a different day. Probably one of the last days for the year that we're going to have in 50-degree weather. Mid-November here in Wisconsin. It's doing pretty good, but anyway, I'll be finishing up on a cooler day, different day. I'm going to have to finish this up, do the assessment and everything else on a different video. Had a bunch of other stuff trying to take care of on the farm and just didn't have quite as much time to get as far as I wanted to in this video. But I still call it. But I'm still figuring it's fairly successful with the way it was looking. It's looking a lot better. Can actually see some gray and stuff underneath it again. A lot of staining with the fuel and oil leaks all over the place. So with that being said, I'm gonna get this thing fired up and park back in for the evening and get at it at a different day. There'll definitely be a lot more to come on this tractor in the future. There's a long ways to go on it. If you didn't catch last week's video on Will It Start, I encourage you to go check that out. Hit the subscribe button so that you can get future notifications on more projects coming in the future. There'll be more than just this tractor I'm working on. A couple other back to the red ones in the shop that will be happening also. So with that all being said, I appreciate you. With that being said, I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you next time.